All right, so we have a new main event, ladies and gentlemen. Islam versus Charles. No longer Islam versus Volkanovski. Yes, please. Now, I am happy about this change. I actually think this is a more competitive and compelling fight than Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev 2. Why do I think that? Well, in the Charles Oliveira fight, we saw them fight in every facet of the sport. We saw them in the clinch. We saw them on the feet striking. We saw them on the ground grappling. We saw them in every facet of the sport, and Islam won. Islam was the better man that night. Charles Oliveira could say all he wants. I wasn't myself that night, blah, blah, blah. But when they fought, Islam Makhachev cut through him like a hot knife through butter. Whereas old man Alexander Volkanovski over here, when he fought Islam Makhachev, you can kind of debate on who won. You could really squint your eyes and think, oh, I think Volkanovski won. There's many people, respected voices of the sport. Joe Rogan has come out and said that Volkanovski's won too. Me personally, I don't take anybody's word as gospel. Very few people do I hold in that high regard. Joe Rogan is not one of them, because he's had some wild opinions too about George St. Pierre, all that stuff. But this isn't the video for that. This is the video for this mega fight right here. The only downside is that it's not a full camp. Volkanovski is not getting a full camp here, but you know what? I don't think he necessarily needs one. I think he could still pull off an upset on short notice like many people have. I think he's the kind of fighter that, will thrive off of a situation like this. But with all of that said, I also think the UFC will take care of him. I think the UFC likes when guys do things like this, and they like when, he really bailed us out. He gave us arguably an even better main event. And with that said, you gotta reward Volkanovski with that. Let's say Volkanovski loses this fight. I think if Volkanovski wins at featherweight, I wouldn't be surprised if they still do a Volkanovski versus Islam 3. I would not be surprised if they do that, just because it's like, hey, we owe the guy. He bailed us out. We got to give him one. I would not be surprised at that at all. As for who I think is going to win, Islam Makhachev has Khabib back in his corner. I think that's a big deal. For me, I'm going to be honest with you, even though Volkanovski's the more active guy, he took a fight in between there against Yair Rodriguez. I think I'm going to still go with Islam Makhachev, to be honest with you. I really do. I think I'm going to still go with Islam to get the job done, even while being in his home field advantage. It's going to be Abu Dhabi. It's going to be a pro-Islam crowd. He went to Australia last time and he fought Volkanovski there. So, I just think things will be better. I think they probably game planned for some things Volkanovski had for him that maybe he wasn't expecting. And we'll see. But honestly, who knows, man? Who knows? This sport is so crazy that even the clearest of crystal balls are foggy. Now, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you would have rather seen Charles Oliveira or Volkanovski fight Islam Makhachev. And pretty much just let me know what you think of my take. If you agree with me, disagree with me, it does not matter. Just join the discussion and please follow for more. Thank you. You are appreciated.